To begin with, business and immigration law updates. This is a presentation of attorney Ramesh Khurana from the Khurana Law Firm. This firm is located in Gaithersburg, Maryland. The moderator is attorney Kenneth Haber, who is also a practicing attorney in Maryland. Today, attorney Haber questions attorney Khurana about the arrival in the U.S. and interview with the Customs Border Protection. Let's hear out these two attorneys.
Good morning. My name is Kenneth Haber. I'm a former Assistant United States Attorney and a former Senior Attorney in the Office of Inspector General of the United States Health and Human Services. We're here today with Ramesh Khurana. Ramesh, welcome.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Ramesh is an immigration attorney who has a practice that affects people across the country and across the world. And this is the Capitol Forum. Ramesh, you're here at an opportune time with all the things occurring in immigration. Can you please explain what people should expect concerning coming across the border and the Customs Protection Forces there? What is the Customs Protection Force to begin with?
Sure, Ken. The Customs Border and Protection Force is a federal agency which is part of the Department of Homeland Security. So any traveler who is coming to the United States, whether he is coming by ship or he is coming by road or he is coming through the airport, now he is giving a first knock to the US. So this is an important place or important port of entry. So when somebody is knocking at your door, so who answers that call? It's CBP, which is the federal agency. Why CBP? Because this Custom and Border Protection Force does various functions. First of all, they are responsible for verifying the immigration status of the person who is trying to come to the United States. And second most important thing is the security angle, because we have to make sure that the traveler is not a security risk to the United States. Third thing, of course, we have to make sure that person is paying the custom duty. So all these important functions, including if somebody is bringing some agricultural products and these may cause some kind of diseases, or they are bringing some worms, insects, etc. So Custom Border Protection Force is there to defend us, United States residents. So this is what CBP does, my dear friend.
With your offices being in Rockville, Maryland,
yes.
You probably have a lot of matters that because Washington, D.C. is such a port of entry, a lot of cases where people first coming in have a need for a good attorney. Is that correct?
That's right. But the problem is, when we are talking about the Custom and Border Protection Force, attorneys are not allowed to see their clients. Wow. We can't. So there is no legal representation for the people or for the travelers who are at the airport.
Even if they're American citizens, U.S. citizens?
Yes. No legal representation is allowed.
Wow. What is the CB declaration form?
Well, this is a very important document. Any person, whether he is a United States citizen, green card holders, or an ordinary traveler who is coming on a kind of tourist visa or other non-immigrant visa, H-1B, L-1, E-visas, everybody is required to fill up the CB declaration form. So this is the Customs Declaration Form. So the Customs Declaration Form basically requires you to give your name and your address and what other products you are bringing while you are traveling overseas, and then you have to declare the value of the items which you are importing or bringing with you as a traveler, and there are certain exemptions. Any U.S. resident who is bringing some gifts for personal use, now they are exempt up to the value of $800. and any traveler who is bringing some gifts or some other items for personal use, he is exempt up to the value of $100. Now, remember this custom declaration form, earlier it was required to be completed and filled in by everyone who was coming at the port of entry. Now, there is a requirement that only one form is required to be completed by the family which is traveling together. When we say family, that means that family is living in the same household and they are related by blood or by marriage or by adoption. So, if they are related, only one declaration form is required.
What is the primary inspection area and what's the secondary? What's the differences? Can you please explain that?
Sure.
It's often used and bantered around, those terms.
Yeah. These two are very important terms when we say primary inspection and secondary inspection. When you are coming first time, you are standing in the queue and you go and see the officer, and that officer asks you some basic questions. He will say, welcome back. And then he says, for how many days were you outside the United States? And then he said, which countries did you visit? So, maybe the officer is satisfied by asking these two basic questions, then he is going to scan your passport, or if you are a green card holder, he is going to take care of your green card, and green card holders, they are fingerprinted as fingerprinting is done by other non-immigrant visa holders, whether H-1Bs, L-1s or tourist visa holders. So, green card holders are also fingerprinted, but US citizens are not fingerprinted. Then they ask you also questions, are you bringing any food? So, based on your answers, and if there are no red flags, because the officer is looking into your eyes to make a determination whether he is telling the truth or not. If the officer is satisfied, he says welcome back, and he will say okay, he returns the passport, or if he has collected a green card, he returns the green card and person moves to the custom area where he is to collect the baggage. But if there are some red flags, the person who has been asked some basic question, that person gets confused or nervous, then the officer would think that probably we need to spend more time with this person. And once the officer decides that we have more questions to ask from this person, that person is subjected to secondary inspection. Now, what does secondary inspection means? It's much more elaborate than the primary inspection, whereby probably he will spend an hour depending upon the overall situation and how many other people are waiting in that area. And at the time of secondary inspection, the officer is going to scan the whole immigration history and check the background of that person, if he is a security threat or what kind of immigration status he has been during the last so many years, has he ever violated any immigration status, or if a person is coming first time on a fiancé visa, going to ask where are you going to stay, with whom are you going to get married. So, it is a kind of second stage of screening the people to avoid any kind of frauds or any kind of security threat. And sometimes during the secondary inspection, people may be searched, their bags may be searched, their emails can be searched. I know that email searching became very much prevalent more than 7-8 years back, and sometime my clients ask me this kind of question: do I have to say yes to allow the CBP officer to check my emails? The answer is no, you don't have to. You don't have to allow, but
They don't have to let you in.
yes, the moment you say sorry, I can't allow you to see my emails, so you are refusing yourself to subject to inspection, for which the CBP officer has the right to do that. They say, okay sir, you have got to go back. So, be careful, you have to do it. What they are trying to see in the emails? Let us say that person is coming on a fiancé visa, and they would like to see whether she or he is really fiancé, or maybe it's a married couple already, because probably they applied that kind of visa when it got approved, and the person thought it's prudent to come on a fiancé visa, but actually they got married, and their emails would indicate that kind of correspondence or any other kind of misrepresentation they can find from the emails, the person is going to be in trouble. So, be careful what documents you are carrying in your bag or briefcase, and what kind of emails you have been sending through your email system. Secondary inspection really puts some people in trouble, and you cannot ask for the attorney's presence there. People who are green card holders, they are allowed to come in, even though there are some red flags or deficiencies. When they come out, probably they will be asked to appear before officers who are part of the ICE, and this is called a deferred inspection, where they will be asked questions and person may be cleared of any kind of background problem. Yes.
Well, that's certainly interesting, but I believe that at times people run into problems when they have a common name, where people have a name like John Smith or Peggy Lou or something like that. Is there any advice to them as to how to avoid having difficulties passing through customs when they have common names? And I imagine it might be even more difficult if they have a name of a population that has heightened security interests concerning, and it's a common name.
Sure.
So what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I think this again is a very good question. Like you said, John Smith, and likewise we say Khan, which is a popular last name for Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladesh, and there is one Bollywood actor, his name is Shah Rukh Khan, and he got into this kind of situation, and this news became so much popular because of the fact that it was related to Shah Rukh Khan, who is the king of Bollywood. So, Khan is such a common name like Smith, and if similar name situation, there is some issues regarding security concerns or some criminal records associated with the last name Smith or Khan, that person will get stopped. Now, what this person can do? This person can do two things. First of all, there is a lot of information available on the website, and the website address is www.dhs.gov. DHS means Department of Homeland Security. Now, if you go on that website, you will find very valuable information like how you can handle this kind of situation. The best thing you can do is, while you are at the airport, ask for the supervisor. You can talk to the supervisor, say that my record is clean, you just verified as a result of secondary inspection, but I don't want to come in this kind of situation every time where I end up by spending an hour or so. So, that is one thing. And second thing you can do is, you can ask for documents under the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. So, under Freedom of Information Act, when you receive these documents, then you will come to know what is going on in the background, and then you can address those issues. So, this is what I would advise. I would advise very strongly to those people who have common names and who have gotten stopped at the airport. Yes.
Very good. Well, I think that both, as practicing attorneys in Maryland, we would recommend to people that if they have any legal problems, that they find themselves good, competent attorneys in the area and the fields that the issues lie in, and rely upon their advice.
I agree with you. Always advise to the audience, please get in touch with your competent immigration lawyer so that he can guide you, and basically he will advise you how to address the issue of getting stopped at the airport quite often, because you must do it, Otherwise, you are wasting your time at the airport.
There's also the Pakistani named Khan who helped father the atomic bomb in Pakistan and sold it to Libya.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Thank
great.
you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the Capitol Forum.
Thank you.